Now we are going to see how to download Arduino Sketch and install in Windows. So you have to go to www.arduino.cc/en/main/software. We will be providing this link beside this course in Udemy, so you can see there. And according to your operating system, you have to download which is the version which is compatible. Now mine operating system is Windows, so I'm going to download the Windows installer. Sometime if you don't have your administration privileges, then you can always download the zip version, but as I have the admin privileges in my operating system, then I will be downloading the first one. It will also ask you to donate. If you are kind enough to donate, then you can contribute and download this version. For this demonstration purpose, we will be just downloading the software. Now the downloading has begun, but I have already downloaded a version to save time. Now this is the window installer. You have to just open the installer by double clicking it, and like all the other window installer wizard, this will be a simple next process. It's telling me that I already have Arduino installed in my computer, so I will be saying OK to overwrite it. It is asking me to uninstall the current Arduino so you can install the newer program, and I will do it. Now the Arduino has been uninstalled and it will start the installation of this new software. You can choose if you want to have an icon in desktop. I would like to have all of these. It's also saying that space required is 354.8 MB. Depending upon which operating system you are using, it may vary. Now I would like to keep everything related to Arduino in C drive because there are many compatible issues when you are dealing with hardwares, so I would not like to change any of that. Now the installation process is complete. We are going to close, and we see that there is an icon on the desktop. Now we have to open this icon to start Sketch ID. Now this is a simple sketch program. Sketch program has three parts. The first part is this place where you will be defining any variables, that is global variables, which will be used throughout the program. The second part is a setup, and the third part is the loop. The setup will be a place where you will be putting setup code to run once. So this will be where you will be defining what are the frequency in which you are going to communicate with Arduino, or if you want to set up some particular pins in Arduino in certain way. And in the loop part, you will be writing the code which will be actually running in your Arduino again and again. So this is very simple procedures, and you can find more in the examples. You have to go to files, examples, and there are lots and lots of examples. I have never used anything outside this example file, so these examples files are very comprehensive and there are lots of examples present. Now if you look at Sketch, there are some icons present in the top. Now this verify is used to test your program and find out if there is error present, that is if there is a syntax error in your program. Then this upload is important, because once your program is bug free, then you can upload the program into your Arduino by just pressing here. And these three are for new, save, and open. Now this is a very simple interface. You don't have anything much to learn. One more important thing is this serial monitor. Now serial monitor will be showing the data communication which is happening from your computer to your Arduino via serial port. Now as you can see, if I go to tools, port, there are serial ports and there are COM ports, and there is no you cannot really see that we have Arduino attached. Let me go ahead and attach my Arduino via USB cable. So I am attaching the USB cable to my computer and the other part to my Arduino. So you can see device is already found the driver and it's starting, and in a second you can see that we will have a COM18 port here. You can see here we already got the COM18 port and Arduino is connected to it. So now if I go to serial monitor, then you might see some of the activity here, because I already have a program in Arduino which is giving information to the serial monitor via USB cable, that is serial connector. If you are finding any problem on configuring Arduino and you are not able to see Arduino on COM18 port, which is here, then you can go to your Start Computers, right click here and go to Manage Devices, and here you will find Device Manager. You can see all the devices which are connected to your computers, and on ports you can see Arduino Uno connected to COM18. If you are not able to see Arduino here, then you can plug out your USB device and plug it again, and if still there is a problem, then you can give it a restart to a computer, and even if that doesn't work, then you have to reinstall your Arduino. There is a very rare chance that your hardware is having any issues, because I have worked with Arduino and it's very fault tolerant hardware. Now we will be examining the program which we are going to use for our use case. You can see here I went to ui5cn.com, which is our website, and we have this piece of code available in our blog where we also explain all the steps involved in setting up the hardwares. You can copy this piece of code, or I will be providing this piece of code right next to your download section and also in your resource section of Udemy. So all we have to do is copy the particular piece of code, and I will be explaining what is happening in this piece of code. This is a very small program, 40 lines of program, and we have to just paste it here. We have the program available in the sketch, so you can read all the comments if you like to understand the program in a more detailed way, but basically we have three parts. So the first part, we are defining the global variables. We will be using a 0 pin of Arduino for connectivity, so it's a analogous pin, and we are assigning it as a name analogous in pin, and we are going to consider 9th pin as the output pin, and I'm assigning a variable analog out pin as 9. Now I will be reading two values, sensor values, the sensor input values and output values, so I have also considered that as a global variable. In the setup, I will be actually talking to my Arduino, so it's better to communicate on a broad rate which we both understand. So you can see here 9600 is the broad rate which we will be speaking. 9600 bit per second is not a standard baud rate, but it's used by most of the programmer when they design hardwares. It's like your language. If I speak English and you can understand English, then we can understand each other. But if you are speaking Chinese and I am speaking English and I don't know Chinese, then I will not be able to understand what you're saying. So we have to give a broad rate here, the frequency in which we are communicating. When we go to the loop section, this is actually the piece of code which will be running again and again in our Arduino. Now what is happening is we are using a predefined function analog read, which is present in the API library of Arduino Sketch, and we are passing which is the pin from which we are going to read the information, and we are storing the information in sensor value variable. And then I just want to have a value within 0 to 255, and because I will be using the CSS in my UI5 front end to really show which is the color of the sensor value. The sensor value can be from 0 to 1023. Now we can go deep into explaining why 1023, because but that will involve you understanding more of a hardware things, and it will be confusing as well. So for now, for the sake of simplicity, we should understand that the sensor will only produce a value range from 0 to 1023. What I'm doing now is I'm writing an analogous out pin, that is pin number 9, with my output value. This value can be anything between 0 to 255. Now this particular serial.print and serial.println will be used to write in your serial port monitor, which is here. So once I actually upload this program to your Arduino, then it's asking me to save the program, and maybe I will save it in desktop, demo IoT. Let me name it demo IoT, and it's compiling the sketch and it will be writing the sketch. So you can see there's an error. Actually, we copied the program from our website, so there's a problem with the double quote. So you have to replace all the double quotes with the normal double quotes which you have in your keyboard. So I'm just replacing all the quotes. So now you can see the color has changed to blue, and let me verify first real quick. I'm checking if the program is having any problem of syntax. Now it's taking time, and it says it's okay, and we can write to Arduino. We have a program written to Arduino. Congratulations. Now let's see the serial monitor. We will be seeing some of the readings here. These are very fast because we have a delay of 200 millisecond only. As I was telling, that baud rate is something like language, and we are using the both the baud rate as 9600 bits per second. But if I change this to some other baud rate, then you can see some of the garbage is written here. So this is the frequency in which communication is happening. We don't need to go deep, but the only thing we should remember is we should be reading in the same baud rate in which we are transmitting. Now you understand what is an Arduino. Now you know some of the basic component of Arduino, the pins involved, the power pins, the input and output pins, which is digital and both analogous. You saw the IC present in Arduino. We came to know about how to install Sketch, and then how to write a simple program of Sketch, which we are going to use in our use case. In the next section, I will be connecting the circuits, and it will be more exciting. So thank you for watching this video.